Beyond with Marie Schrader and guests. We would like to thank an underwriter. Lake Links thanks KPFC for the opportunity to inform listeners about transportation programs for seniors and the disabled. Lake Links helps elderly or people with disabilities to get the transportation assistance they need and helps volunteer drivers by removing financial barriers. Details are available at 707-995-3330 and on the website www.lakelinks.org.
Hi, Cisa Harris, Chair of the Democratic Party of Lake County. We are proud of being an underwriter of KPFC. We promote justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion and support KPFC, Lake County Community Radio. We hold monthly meetings via Zoom, recruit and support qualified candidates for local elected office, and provide input to our state and national Democratic leaders. Our website is lakecountydemocrats.org.
Take a journey to a place so dear, where the mountains meet the sky and the lakes are clear. Lakeport's calling with charm in the air, a hidden treasure so lovely and rare. With clear lakes, waters, the oldest around, a peaceful escape where serenity's found. The whispers of nature, the beauty unfolds in Lake County's heart, a story retold. Discover Lakeport and beyond, where memories flourish and hearts respond. In every moment let the joy surround, from wine tasting tours to the trails unbound. Hiking up hills under skies so blue, with every sunset you'll know it's true. Life's an adventure just waiting for you. In Lakeport, California, let's start anew.
Welcome to Discover Lakeport and Beyond, broadcasting right here in beautiful downtown Lakeport, reaching listeners throughout Lake County. We're your local connection to people, places, and happenings that make our community so special. I'm your host, Marie Schrader, and I'm so glad you've joined us today. At the council, keeping us sounding great is Terry Kiplinger. Thank you, Terry. Good morning. Here's how our show works. Each episode, we welcome a guest or guests into the studio to talk about something related to Lake County, whether it's local history, community projects, small businesses, events, public services, or the people who help make this county thrive. And this is your show, too. During the program, we'll be taking your calls. You can phone in to ask questions of our guests or to share information about upcoming events happening anywhere in Lake County. If it's going on in your community, we want to hear about it. So settle in, tune up the volume, and get ready to discover Lakeport and beyond. Our phone number for calling in is 707-263-3435. Again, that's 707-263-3435. Before I introduce the guests, I just want to bring you up to date as far as the events that are happening coming up really, really quickly here in Lakeport anyway. March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, the Black Horse Blues Band is going to be playing at the Clear Lake Grange from 6 to 9 p.m. On March 19th, Operation Tango Mike has their monthly packing party at Columbia Bank at 6 o'clock. On March 24th, Jesus Christ Superstar is showing. It's a free movie at the Soparis at 6 p.m. I'm going to that, definitely. And on March 25th, at United Christian Parish, they're doing their monthly blood drive. That's through Vitalant, I believe is how it's called. And you can go to their website to schedule your time there. On March 29th is the Lake County Adult and Youth Orchestra concert at the Soparis at 2 o'clock p.m. And that's just happening in the next 2 weeks. So my guests today here in the studio are from. Oh, I might add that any information from today's show will be put on the website discoverlakeportca.com and also on the Facebook page. So I know that I talk fast, and I know that there's just a lot of information. So that's why I make it available on both of those, and those will be up this afternoon. A copy of the show, it takes me about a week, but it will be available also on the website discoverlakeportca.com, and there'll be a link that'll take you to a YouTube channel so you can listen to this again and get information from it. And plus, it'll have all the information of all the events that I'll be announcing today there for your convenience. So my guests today are from the Lake County Literacy Coalition. I want to welcome Deb Earhart, who is the president, and Joe Fay. Welcome, ladies. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So why don't we start off by talking about what is the Lake County Literacy Coalition?
The coalition was founded to support the library-run literacy programs, adult literacy and family literacy, and to be a financial supporter and an awareness supporter.
Very good.
Of the programs throughout the community.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So literacy, when we talk about literacy rates, do you know what the literacy rate is for the United States versus Lake County?
59 million people in the United States are below a level 1.
What is a level 1?
That would be kind of on a par of first grade, probably.
Is that right?
Correct?
Yeah.
First to third, I think.
First to third.
First to third
Yeah.
grade. Wow, that's high.
And 26% of Lake County residents are below that level.
Oh my, yes. I know I had an experience when I worked in an office many years ago, and I needed someone to fill out paperwork, and he was struggling with it, and so I filled it out for him and went to sign his name, and he signed it with an X. And I was very surprised because this person I would never have guessed would have been, had struggled with literacy because he functioned just fine, had a job. You just can't tell. You just can't tell. So what kind of programs do you offer to help people, raise their literacy level?
The literacy program offers one-on-one tutoring. Anyone age 16 years or older is eligible for this tutoring, and it's geared toward what the learner really wants to learn. In other words, if you've got somebody who is trying to get a high school diploma or a driver's license or pass a citizenship test, whatever they want to focus on is what the tutor works with them on.
Oh, so it's very specific to that person.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it so much easier because then they're motivated to find that. That's wonderful. So how does one? There's two different aspects to this that I think we need to cover. One is the person who receives the tutoring, and the other one is the people who give the tutoring. So let's do the give the tutoring first. How's that? So are these paid people, or how? Who are your tutors?
Our tutors are volunteers.
Volunteers.
Many times they have been in education in one form or another, but that's not a requirement at all.
Oh.
There are trainings that are done multiple times throughout the year at the Redbud Library at the south end of the lake and the Lakeport Library here. And all of the information for working with adults is provided at that point in time, along with manuals and a lot of support on an ongoing basis, so that the tutors have people that they can reach out to if they come up against something that they're not familiar with or that their learner is asking that they're not familiar with.
So when you're a tutor, you meet, is there a place that you meet, or do you meet, is it between the person being tutored and the tutor?
There has been a number of changes over the years, but right now the tutoring is done at the library branches in the county. So Middletown, Upper Lake, Clear Lake, and Lakeport all have tutoring spots available and generally meet there. Some tutoring has been done on Zoom if a person has the skills for that.
Oh, that was another question I was going to ask, because I know probably during COVID, we extended everything into the Zoom world, and I was wondering if that occurred there too. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Oh, that's great. So, so what kind of time, if I agree to become a tutor, what kind of time commitment am I looking for at here?
Joe, do you want to answer that?
Usually it's about once a week is the normal, and about an hour.
About an hour?
Depending on your student's attention span. I did have a student that could not do an entire hour, so you tailor it.
Sure.
And sometimes people want more than the hour a week, and if you're willing to do that, or we do have tutors with multiple students, they do it that way. I was always comfortable back when I was doing it. I'm on a break right now from it, but I did it for 7 years. Back when I did it, you could go to people's houses or meet somewhere else, and that has slightly changed. I was always more comfortable in the library. It just felt like a safe space for everyone. And my client was a people services client, and they would drop him off.
Oh.
So that worked, and they are wonderful about working with us. And like Deb said, that we get so many different needs. My first student needed to pass her driving test, and she was a Swiss person that had lived in the United States for 40 years and was an RN and extremely bright. But the way the DMV would ask the questions in the negative would throw her.
It throws us all.
So I used a lot of the computer tests just for practice, and she was very bright. But what I did find out was the DMV will allow a second language person to have the test given to them orally, and that way they can ask about the question itself, not anything to do with the answer,
Right.
but what did you mean by the way you phrased that question?
Right.
So she got 100% when she took it that way.
Oh, very good.
But we also have people that want to practice for their GRE, very high level. We had
What is a GRE?
to get into your master's degree.
Oh, very good. Okay. Wow.
So yes, so we get very specific things. We had an emergency call I did from one of my old students' older sister who had a scholarship to go to San Francisco State, but was about ready to fail statistics.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
And so I knew one of our tutors was a math person. Put them together. They only had 3 weeks before she had this big test that was going to make her grade, get her in, keep her scholarship or not. And
Right.
they worked multiple times a week because it was
Wow.
under a stress situation, and she passed and is now, I think, a senior in college, doing
Wow.
fabulously.
That's
So-
amazing. So this, I mean, we're talking about literacy, but you brought up statistics, which is not necessarily language, but it is a language all in of itself, and we need the language in order to do math. We were talking about this.
You have to read directions.
Yes.
Some people just need to be able to read their medicine bottle.
Oh my goodness.
Think about if
Yes.
you couldn't, if
Yeah.
you're not literate enough to understand, and you didn't really understand what your doctor said. There's just so many.
Right.
My second student, he just wanted to take a cooking class, and they told him that he had to have a 3rd grade reading level to be able to do that. So you just get a lot of different goals.
Oh, certainly. So, you mentioned that your student was from a different country, and I never really thought about that. Of course, you could be fluent in a different language and not fluent in ours. So ESL is one of the things that you will work with as well?
Absolutely. There's been a formalized program since about 22, providing ESL services in a number of different ways. In addition to the one-on-one tutoring option, there are conversation clubs where students can get together and practice their English
Oh, wow.
in settings with a guided instructor.
Right.
And various other options. There are some computerized programs also that help, something called Mango Languages,
Oh,
that
wow.
help
Yeah.
when you can't get together with your tutor, but you want to practice on your own, that type
Sure.
of thing.
Sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like Duolingo comes to mind, that sort of thing. But that's more geared towards learning another language, I think. Isn't I don't know. I haven't used it, but that type. But I do know that there are computer programs out there that do help with literacy. But it's finding those programs if you're illiterate to be able to know that they're there is a struggle. If you can't speak, if you can't read. So
Everything's a struggle, and
Yeah.
like you said, you don't realize the people you know that aren't literate
Exactly.
because they have found workarounds.
Yes.
They have found ways to not make that obvious.
Yes.
The library also has lots of programs to help people with computer literacy, because we have a lot of people in the county that are nervous and scared about that. So we have,
Oh, yeah.
fabulous groups that will come in and help you do that, so you can take something like Mango.
Right. I do have to say that if you have not checked out the library resources and the classes that they take, I know the library puts out a monthly newsletter with all of their schedules of classes for all of the branches, and I am astounded at the number of things that are going on at our local libraries that people have no clue are there. I just saw there's the craft thing coming up for Easter. I think it's this week. There's for kids, and they're making cute little Easter houses, and they're adorable. And all of this is free to whoever comes to the library. So, days, I remember visiting the library when I was a child, and to take out one book, because that's all we could do at that point in time. And I also took my kids to the library when they were up here in Lakeport, when we first came, we would come up for the summer, and we, every week we would go to the library, and it's just such a great resource. Library card is free, and there's so many things you can get with that. You can actually check out a state park pass from their library to use.
Remind me to talk about that later when we get to Story Walk.
Yes, well, that's the other thing that I want to do. So, but I'm going to pause for just a minute to talk about a couple things coming up here that I have not mentioned yet. Let's see. So, St. Patrick's Day. I know that Vision of Hope over in Nice is doing a drive-through St. Patrick's Day dinner. You can look that up online. I know that I think that it's prepay only, and I'm hoping, because isn't St. Patrick's Day tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Is that right? So you have to get to them right away in order to be able to take advantage of that. On the 18th, there's a free veterans dinner with a $10 donation for non-veterans. It's down at the Clear Lakes Oaks Moose Lodge. They do a lot of things for veterans down there. It's really wonderful. Beef stroganoff with vegetables, salad, dessert, and music with Danny Prather and friends. So go on down there. If you're a veteran, you get free dinner down there. I did already mention the Thursday, March 19th, is the packing party for Operation Tango Mike over at Columbia Bank here in Lakeport, and that's at 6 o'clock. So I know Ginny loves to have things over there. And you know what? I know what else is happening this weekend, and I'm going to turn it over to you guys because you have a fundraiser happening this weekend.
A big one.
Yes. So let's talk about that.
For many, many years, the Literacy Coalition held an annual fundraiser called the Vineyard Run for Literacy.
Right.
It happened in the Kelseyville area at the Steel Winery. And COVID and a number of other circumstances put an end to that, but we took up the torch with Bingo Fun for Literacy.
Nice.
And that event is happening this coming Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. At the Lakeport Senior Center.
Fantastic.
Doors open at 4:30 because we have a lot of people that want to get there early. Food. We have a bar.
Yeah.
I'll be attending bar.
Oh, boy. Yes.
Coffee. We have a silent auction with fabulous items that somebody I know donated a gift certificate for. And what else can you think of? Just fun. Super fun. We have a really fun MC that keeps things rolling and handles everything, Laura McAndrew-Samuel. And it's a fun event, and the Lakeport Senior Center is fabulous to us. It's a great venue, first of all, because of the size and the kitchen area and everything. But it's just they're very supportive.
Absolutely. I know that at the Lakeport Senior Center, if you are a senior, they serve lunch Monday through Thursday over there, starting at, I believe, 11:30. I'm as my mind is remembering. So so the bingo fun for literacy is always a really fun time, and I know there's a lot of people out there who like to play bingo.
We get some real serious people, and then we get groups of just fun friends, teacher friends that come, and groups of family friends that come, and it is wild. It is fun. Let me tell you. So it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting for us putting it on, but it's so much fun to do it, and it's very worthwhile.
Yeah. So it's basically come at the door, pay at the door.
Yes.
Correct.
That sort of thing. No advance tickets needed. Don't need to dress up or any kind of thing like that.
No, but it's the St. Patrick's Day theme,
Oh,
so please
so
dress. And we do have chargeabilities. So if you bring a credit card, you can pay anywhere.
Nice.
For the food or the drinks or the entry or the silent auction, especially.
Right.
Since you don't know what you're going to love.
That's right.
So
That's right.
bring your credit cards and a friend and be prepared to have fun.
That's right. Oh, fantastic. That's great. So also on that same day, down in, I believe this is at the Greenview, they're doing a kids chef camp down there. I know. It's at the Greenview Event Center on Saturday, March 21st at 2:30 p.m. So that's ages 5 to 10. And you can give them a call, and they'll have more information about that. I know it's kind of...
That's Hidden Valley, right?
Yes.
That's the Hidden Valley restaurant.
Yes.
It's a great venue, too.
Oh, it is. It is. I've been up there many times, so it's really good. Also on that very same day, March 21st, this is a really busy weekend. Upper Lake Middle School is having a father-daughter dance. It's called Enchantment Under the Sea. So that's at the Upper Lake Middle School gymnasium from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. so that you can go there.
And moms can come to bingo.
What a great idea.
Works perfectly.
Love it. Great idea.
With all your mom girlfriends.
There you go. Yeah. Do a ladies' night out and send the daughter to the dance with down. There you go. Love it. Also on March 21st, now we're going to the other end of the lake. This is down at the senior center at the other end of the lake is the Kicking Into Spring. This is Bring Your Boots and Dukes and get kicking into spring. It's at the Clear Lake Highlands Senior Center. And it's music by the High Notes, serving country barbecue music and fun, $50 per person. And that's right down in Clear Lake. So, wow, lots of things. And let's not forget, we have Middletown. And now we're going to Middletown. Middletown Senior there's something at every senior center, I think, in Lake County this Saturday. So the Middletown Senior Center, it's sponsoring March for Meals. It's at the Senior Center, and it's a walk. To raise funds for them, and it's a walk. It starts at 10:30. Sign-ups from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. and the walk starts at 11 a.m. So there's going to be hot dog, hamburger, chips, cookie, and beverage for sale. But it's a fundraising campaign to raise money and awareness for the senior hunger program up for the Meals on Wheels up in Middletown. So that is a wonderful idea. And yeah, we're still going. At Flapjack fundraiser for the Lake County Rodeo Association is happening at the Kelseyville Presbyterian Church over on 3rd Street in Kelseyville on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. You get pancakes, eggs, sausage, biscuits, gravy, coffee, and juice for $11 per person. So, and it's sponsored by the Lions and the Lake County Rodeo Association. So, you've got a full day on that one for sure. So, all right. So that's just happening this weekend. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's turn the conversation to the person receiving the benefits. Okay. How do they sign up for this, or how do they find you? I mean, because I'm thinking they may not be able to see anything on Facebook, or read anything on there. How do we connect you?
Oftentimes it happens by word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
People who have had an experience with the program and share that with others. The literacy program can be reached at a phone number, which we publicize often on little flyers and give out at outreach events. 707-263-7633. And there's a form that can be completed along with the program director or program staff so that the learner's goals are in writing and everybody is aware of what it is that the learner wants, and some basic contact information that is used to help match the learner with a tutor that's available.
Oh, very good. So I would imagine, I mean, if I'm just kind of trying to put myself in the shoes of someone who needs your services, to think that I would be embarrassed, and so privacy about them, being in the program, or even privacy, once you're in the library, it's not at a station that says tutoring or something of that nature. Is that correct?
Yes. Although I understand that they have started recently a Saturday drop-in tutoring, and that may be
It's at Redbud.
at a particular station that is identified, just so that people coming in
Right.
know where to go.
I used to meet my client, the second client, in the children's section.
Oh, very good.
Now, occasionally they would have something going on. That was back when Miss Barbara was the story time lady, and she would get there and start working on crafts. But she was great, and she didn't mind. And my learner had a back problem, and so we would sit in those rocking chairs in the library, and he could rock, and his back was feeling good, and so he would be able to do it longer. And it was quiet in there because we met right before lots of the kids would come in. So, yeah, you can find, there are some quiet spots in the library. You kind of have to search them out. They're kind of on the outside edges of the library. But the children's section is nice because it has its own doors.
Yes. I know in Lakeport, especially. Yes. And I would imagine, I mean, for me, being at the library as a person tutoring someone, is that you have tons of resources just at your fingertips being in the library. If you needed to pull out a, like a picture book or, something of that nature, it's just right there.
Well, and we
And
have
that's
tons
wonderful.
of support for that, for our tutors.
Oh, really?
That we just can draw from. And then we have a network of tutors we can reach out to each other and say, hey, I'm having this problem. Have you had this? What can I, do? As a prior first grade teacher, I actually use things like flashcards. I mean, you use what works with your student, and that can be various. And some of them want practice not only reading but speaking. So that's an important part of it too. I did crossword puzzles.
Oh, wonderful, yeah.
I mean, there's just lots of different things. I was going to say the other libraries also. The Middletown Library is fabulous, and they have another room that they often let people use for privacy. The Redbud has also got a neat little kids section, and I love the Upper Lake Library. That's a special little library. I did reading workshops in all those libraries, and that one is just, it's tiny, but it's a jewel.
Is
Yeah.
that the one at the end of Main Street there?
Yes, it's near the Blue Wing.
Yes.
You just keep going.
Yeah, that one. Oh,
And
yeah.
it is very tiny, and there's
Very
not a lot
cute.
of privacy there, but there are two separate rooms.
Uh-huh.
And
We have a phone call.
Oh, wonderful.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the
Okay.
air.
Good morning. Very good show.
Thank you.
Very good show. I haven't been able to catch you guys yet. Hello, Terry. This is Wilmer.
Good morning, Wilmer.
Yeah, I've been listening. And yes, education's so important. You know, I had to have tutor too, not for English, because my mother was my teacher, and she made sure at a very young age that her son would be a literate person. But I had a problem with math when I was in college. And all the tutors said they felt way more comfortable tutoring in a library. It was done in Shasta College Library when I had to have my tutoring done.
Wow.
Now, my mother read to me when I was in her womb, and I spent a lot of time on her lap with books, so that wasn't a problem. And her mother-in-law majored in English, and my father's mother majored in English in college, had a master's. So
Very
she
good.
pounded English. She pounded English into my head, whether I liked it or not. Anyway, and not only that, we speak primary English here, though. I speak some Spanish. I used to speak it very good. At one time, I spoke Azorian Portuguese when I was small. My grandfather spoke it, but when he died, I stopped. But it's still in there somewhere.
that's a tough one.
Still in there somewhere. I was 6 when he died.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to let you guys get back to your show,
Well, thank you for
and I'm going
listening.
to go
and
yes,
thank
and
you.
I'm going to go back in the house where I can listen. I'm out here with the birds and the dogs and cats. And
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is gorgeous. Yes. So thank you so much, and thank you for calling. We really appreciate that.
You're
So,
welcome.
everybody.
I'm a fellow programmer, and I'm really appreciating and enjoying this program. It's good radio, by the way.
Thank
on
you.
top of the material.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So just a reminder, our phone number is 707-263-3435. That's 707-263-3435. And it's interesting. Our caller said that he was outside listening to the birds, and I'm a former music educator, and I worked in a district where they started music education at 4th grade, and they basically had nothing before that, and I would start my year by teaching bird calls to kids, and my colleague said, that's not music education, what are you doing? And I said, oh, but it is, because you have to be able to discern sounds in order to identify a bird call. And so I took, this was down in Sonoma County, and so I took all the birds that could be found in our area, and I looked up their call and, played them, and they had to identify them. And these kids were so excited when they came back, after a week and saying, oh, Miss Schrader, I heard an osprey, or I heard an eagle, or I heard, kingfisher, or any of those types of birds, because it increased the listening skill. And listening and speaking and understanding are crucial to everything that we do. And maybe that's something that we can talk about. If you are a parent, what can you do to help your child be more literate?
That's a really good question. I think that it's going to vary considerably from household to household, depending upon the parent's background, what they might have available to them, or what they may have experienced in their own education. So I think that probably a great place to find things to utilize with your children is the library.
Yes, absolutely.
But you hit the nail on the head. My workshop that I did pre-COVID was called Talk, Read, Sing. So if you do that daily, because what I noticed as a first grade teacher is children didn't have conversational ability.
Right.
They were plugged into things and they didn't have conversation. And when we were kids, we talked about books we read and, all kinds of things. So, they need to talk, read, and then singing, obviously.
Yes.
Is very important. And you can't sing and read music if you're not literate. So
that is so true. I know I used to, in my kindergarten classes, I had a collection of books that were songs. And so I sang the book, to the class. And I'll never forget this little child said, "Do you ever read a book without singing it?" And I said, "All the time, actually."
Well, when I would have conferences with parents, and they would say, "Well, my child doesn't like reading these books, the books that were available." I said, "Well, it doesn't matter what they read. If they like comic books, if they
They're
like reading the labels on the cans in the pantry, if they like to read just the signs." I remember having some friends' kids in the back seat, and they were kind of, I thought, pre-reading. They started reading my GPS screen about where we were going. And I said, wow. There's reading opportunities everywhere.
Yeah. Do you remember, did either of you do this? You go on a long trip, car trip with your parents, you played the ABC game, where you had to find words outside of the car that started with with the different letters, and everybody had their own thing. And once someone spotted that, you couldn't use that. And there were all kinds of rules with regards to this kind of stuff. But we used to go 3.5 hours in northern Minnesota, and that's a long time as a child to sit. And so we played games, and the alphabet game lasted a long time. Let's just put it that way.
And it made for quiet, probably, for the parents a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, if you think of the difference between those days and today, kids on a 3.5 hour trip are going to be glued into their phone and their device. And, when you're together in a car, that's a good opportunity to connect as a family, to be able to instill. My mother would go over multiplication tables with me, that kind of stuff, in the car. So, as a learning opportunity that, today I think is lost, on many of our kids.
It is.
Yeah.
Quiet, silent reading is a skill that a lot of children don't have because they are expecting sound bites.
Absolutely.
Of everything. And so it's something that has to be taught. And people don't realize that. They just think that that's something that's going to happen, and it doesn't.
No, and I can't help but think that in the home, if your parents never read, are you going to be a reader?
Certainly, example is everything.
Absolutely.
And as our caller indicated, if the parents read to the children when they're young, even before they're born,
I made me tingle.
Yeah, me too.
You're right, because it's been shown that babies in utero hear what's happening out there, and I know that because I sang in a church choir while I was pregnant with my first one, and I sat right in front of the organ bellows, kind of thing. And he would be moving around music all the time, so yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that you can do, but I think, one of the things I know with my kids, I read to them a lot. We had a plethora of books always, in the house and library and that sort of thing. And it made it, a routine every day to do some reading. And I know that I remember my husband at the time, I would say, oh, look, because I would have them point out words to me, and he was always, but that's memorization. Well, that's what reading is. It's memorization. And I remember seeing in the schools I worked with, especially the elementary schools, the sight word things that were on the walls or the games that they played with
Environmental
sight words.
print.
Yeah, exactly. Those types of things are really crucial to being able to read fluently. As I had, my second child was gifted and talented in math, and he struggled with reading, although that was critical to math. But reading and writing was something he really struggled with. So it was the repetition of doing it over and over, so he got better at it. Once he got better at it, then he liked it. It was that struggle that made it so hard, at first. So, trying to do everything in a game format, to get people beyond that is really helpful in there. So, okay, so let's take just a little bit of a break here. We're going to talk about few more events coming up between now and the 30th, because that's when my next show is. There's going to be Kelseyville Boosters Club is going to do a bingo night as well on March 28th at the Mercantile. So that's over there, and that starts at 3 p.m. So that'll be kind of fun. And then on the 20th is going to be a big one too, is the Mafia Murder Mystery over in Nice at the, it's with the Vision of Hope. And this is it's a dual fundraiser for Lake County Theater Company and for Vision of Hope. And I understand that last I heard, they only had a few tickets left for that. So get your tickets to support that wonderful fundraiser as well. There's a soccer fundraiser at the Mercantile from 1 to 7 p.m. on Saturday, March 28th. There's going to be all kinds of things over there with another bingo as well. Bingo is so popular. See, I'm telling you, you can't get enough bingo. Just saying. Okay. March 28th is also the Upper Lake Community Easter Egg Hunt at Upper Lake Middle School. It starts at 10 a.m. So that's getting the first of those in there. And I will say that last Saturday, the Easter Bunny was here in Lakeport, and they were at Frino's Italian Baked Goods, and on next Saturday it's going to be at Jitterbee North. So bring the kids, bring your phone. You get to take pictures with the Easter Bunny, and then the week after that, on March 28th, it's at Flowers by Jackie here in Lakeport. So be sure to take all that in. And also coming up a little bit beyond that, but I always bring this up, is A Simple Gesture program, which is the food donation pickup program that we have now all around the lake. And the North Shore has a chapter, Clear Lake, Lower Lake has a chapter, Middletown and Cobb area has a chapter, Kelseyville has a chapter, Lakeport has a chapter, where you go ahead and sign up. You sign up via your zip code, and it will get you to the right chapter. And then once a month, you can put out a bag. You get a bag. You put out a bag of groceries, and we come pick it up and take it to a local food pantry that services your area specifically. So the food that you donate does not leave your area. It supplements the food programs that are already out there, and in this time they are in great need of doing that. So you sign up at www.joinasg, that stands for A Simple Gesture, joinasg.org, and that's a wonderful program that is coming up all around the lake. So that's really a great one. And again, all of this information you'll be able to find on the Facebook page of Discover Lakeport CA, and also on the website of discoverlakeportca.com, and you'll see the tab at the top that says Discover Lakeport and Beyond. Just click on that, and all this information will be there. So if you missed any of it, and you'll be able to do that. So again, this weekend is the Bingo for Fun for Literacy at the Senior Center here in Lakeport. What time does that start again?
Starts at 5, but the doors open at 4:30, and especially if you're going to come with a group, we encourage you to come early so that you can get seating together with all of your people.
Wonderful. And I know, tell us about, do you know some of the silent auction items that you're going to have over there?
There are always a variety of interesting things. Sometimes people donate jewelry.
Oh.
Sometimes there are experiences that there are gift certificates for. I know that there is a basket that contains some original Mexican hand-painted dishware
Oh, wow.
dinnerware and a gift certificate to TNT's.
Oh, nice.
So
Yes. Yeah.
We have the Pin Scour Tour at Six Sigma. They're always fabulous about donating that, and that's for 10.
Oh, wow.
Up to 10 people. That includes a tasting, not just the tour of the
Wow.
property.
Nice.
That's fabulous. We've got lots of different baskets. We have a movie night basket. We have a basket of books that for children that are mostly from about 6 to 8 years old. We have a local photographer, Lorianne Martin, who's a fabulous photographer, and she's donated a photography sitting with 15 files included in
Wow.
it.
That's nice.
It's a really wonderful
nice.
package. We have voice lessons
Yes,
by
you
Marie
do.
Schrader as a donation. Can you think of anything else, Deb? There's there's artwork.
Wow.
The jewelry is pretty fabulous that we have. Restaurants.
Nice.
We get a lot. We get a lot of wonderful
That's
things.
great. That's wonderful. It's always fun to have a silent auction, so that's great. We also need to talk about the other program that you do that I love is Story Walk. Tell us about Story Walk.
I will tell you about Story Walk because I have two hats for Story Walk. I am a state park volunteer, only with things to do with literacy, because trust me, if I did the bird calls, it would go bad quickly, which you should do with the state park. We'll talk about that.
Sure.
But the Literacy Coalition has partnered with the state park on our monthly Story Walk, which is the second Saturday of every month from any time between 11 and 2. Doesn't mean you stay from 11 to 2. You can come anytime. You can walk through the park with your kiddos. You can come and read the story, which is on storyboards, basically like sandwich boards, around the visitor center.
Oh.
They always have a docent in there, so you can tour the visitor center. And then we do a craft. And something that's fairly new that's really been wonderful is the bookmobile comes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they park by the education center, which is right across from the visitor center, and they do a craft. But they also offer the opportunity to get a library card.
Oh, wonderful.
Or if you have a library card, you can check a book out. And we are, all of our money comes from fundraising or being funded by things.
Right.
So it's been a rough year.
Yeah.
And we've lost some funding. We not originally, but in the last couple years, we have given away, each family got a copy of the Story Walk Book of the Month, which is a different book every month, and normally hardbacks.
Wow.
Beautiful books to build up your child's library.
Right.
And we lost our funding for that. So we're still giving books away because we get books donated and from a variety of sources. We're trying to get the money back in other grants to do that again. So they get a book, they tour the visitor center, they do a fun craft that has to do with a book, then they go over to the bookmobile, they can check a book out, and we buy 10 books a month of that Story Walk book so they can be checked out at the bookmobile.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So 2 crafts, and then go do whatever you want in the park. Free park entrance, and the parking is $8.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing too to get into the state park.
Well, absolutely, boy. There's because I usually do the events happening here in Lakeport. The state park and the Taylor Observatory are 2 areas that I absolutely include in everything that I publish. And if you have not gone over there and toured the visitor center, this is your opportunity to do that. Plus, have a great time with your kiddos, in a structured type of thing that they can do with crafts. But that is a hidden treasure over there that most people don't know that is there. I mean, that visitor center has got stuffed examples of almost all the animals and birds and everything that you can see around here. And not just that, they're placed in what they would look like in their natural habitat. Plus the big fish tank that's in the back there. and don't know if they have. I know that when my kids were little, they had an example of Mount Konocti erupting. That was pretty cool back there. We used to boat over when we had guests to bring them to show them this visitor center because it was just so good. But combining that with Story Walk is really wonderful. To be able to do both of those at one time, it makes for a great experience on a Saturday, and it's always the
second Saturday of the month, and we've actually had families that had their birthday parties for their children.
Oh my goodness!
Because there's picnic tables nearby.
Sure.
And then made Story Walk part of that birthday party experience.
What a great idea! Mm-hmm. Oh my! I didn't think about that. That is a fabulous idea. So I know that you can find all this information on the Lake County Literacy Coalition Facebook page. Do you have a website as well?
We do.
Yes.
Yes, and it's a Wix site.
Yes.
I did not bring a copy of it with me. I don't know if it's.
I'll tell you what.
Joe.
I will put that.
Was it on your printout? This is all your stuff
No.
that you sent.
I will definitely put that on my information, so that you can find their information readily on both both the Facebook page of Discover Lakeport CA plus the website of discoverlakeportca.com. So we can have that information, the contact information for your program, and and the links to your program on that one. So that would be great. But I know that I've been seeing your stuff come out through Facebook. But then again, I'm a Facebook junkie, so self-admitted Facebook junkie.
Me
here.
too.
So it's really really wonderful. So we're going to be coming up on our time pretty soon. Any additional thoughts that you want to put out there?
I wanted to mention that we also, the tutoring program is in the jail system, which is fabulous, because then when people are released, they have the skills to get a job.
Right.
And keep a job. And also we're partnering with Mendocino College for tutoring for students.
And with an ESL class.
With an ESL class.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. So and of course, if you're working on your GED, I'd imagine that, you're an invaluable resource for someone who is working to get your GED, which is a very important thing to be able to do. Get your high school diploma. It's something that will service you for the rest of your life.
And there's a new online program for the high school equivalency.
Really?
We have 5 students that are enrolled and progressing. I think that they can do this program within 9 to 14 months to complete the high school curriculum.
Wow.
So that's something else that the literacy program and the library are involved in.
Very good. Wow.
And if anybody has questions about any of these things, with that phone number, the person that runs our literacy program is Georgina Guardado, who was the poet laureate for 2 terms. Mm-hmm. She has so much information and is a techno wizard. So she can answer anything about any of these programs and give you more information.
Oh, very good. Very good. So that's great. So a couple of things, last things that I want to mention here is on March 29th at the Soper Reese, the Lake County Youth Concert, it's Youth and Adult Concert Orchestra are going to be having a performance. And you can find that information on the Soper Reese website, along with many other things that are happening coming up with them. And coming up the 1st of April, there's just so many things that are coming with Easter. But the one thing that is not Easter related, but coming up on the 3rd and 4th, is the Trout Derby over in Blue Lakes. I see that they have some great prizes over there for us. So if you're into trout fishing, go join the Derby over there. But I will also have a listing of all of the things that I know about that are happening for the Easter, Easter stuff coming up. Will be on both the website and the Facebook page. So you can go ahead and see any of them on there. Oh, and one thing that I know the city of Lakeport would love for me to announce is that on April 11th is the Community Cleanup Day. So that from 9 to 2 at the 5th Street boat ramp. And if you are a resident of Lakeport and you need to bring, you can find the information. It'll be on the meme or on the graphic that I put up there. But you have to bring proof of residency, but you get to actually, drop things off and clean up your yard or whatever you need to clean up. And then later in April is also the citywide yard sale that's happening here in Lakeport. If you have a Lakeport address, you can sign up for that. Is the largest yard sale in the entire county. And it's going to be for 3 days this time, April 24th, 25th, 26th. You do not have to participate on all 3 days. You can name your hours, but you go on the website of discoverlakeportca.com to sign up for that. So by all means do that, because that is advertised to 5 counties. We have people that come from all over Northern California to come to that yard sale, the citywide yard sale, because we've got so many yard sales happening on the same day in Lakeport, in one area. And so it's going to be one of those wonderful things coming up. So let's see here. Oh, my goodness. Did I forget anything?
A final comment about the bingo event.
Yes.
We did not cover before the fact that there is a $30 entrance fee.
Right.
For a set of bingo cards.
How many cards do you get?
There are going to be 8 games.
Oh, very good.
This particular time. And you can purchase additional packets of cards for $12 each. Good. For those who are good enough bingo players to play multiple cards at the same time.
That's good to know. Very good. I love it. So, and just so you know, my next program is going to be on March 30th, and we are going to be talking to Angelo Parisi from Taylor Observatory. So, which is, I'm looking forward to this program because I am also a space junkie. The astronomy was my science in college and absolutely love it. So I'm really excited to talk to him about his program and everything going on over at Taylor Observatory and everything happening out there in space. So it's going to be a really fun show for that at that time as well. So this is going to be really fun. I'm really excited. Please, everybody, go to the bingo Fun for Literacy this Saturday at the Lakeport Senior Center. Support the Lakeport Literacy or the Lake County Literacy Coalition. They do a lot of good work here in Lake County that's very, very needed in our community. So I think that that's going to be something that's going to be really, really good for you. So I love it. Wonderful.
Thank you so much for having us on your show today. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk about what we do and encourage more people and advise more people about what's available.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a way more out there than people know.
That's what I'm finding out is that there's a lot of organizations here in Lake County that people have no idea even exist that can be a resource for making our lives here better and making our community better. And that's why, I wanted to do this program to highlight those things happening out there in our community and make it something that we can all, benefit from. So,
absolutely.
Yes. And so we've got great weather coming up. I don't know about you guys, but, I know One Team, One Dream has actually transitioned. They are actually doing the Lake County Tastemakers Competition. And this is anybody who's a chef, a baker, cloud kitchen owners, food truck vendors, farmers, baristas, anything that has food and beverage associated with it. They're doing a competition. Go ahead and look them up under One Team, One Dream and join the competition. Could be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see what comes out of that one. I wonder if we get to taste any of the stuff that they make. And that would be a fun one to be a judge, don't you think?
If the winner is going to be the one cooking for their event.
I don't know. That would be interesting. So this is all very new. I knew about the last one that they did. The last several years they did a business competition, and I do know about that. But this sounds very yummy. Let's just put it that way. Sounds like something that could be fun to be a judge at. For sure. So
I think she's putting it out there for someone to hear that.
that's right. There you go. There you go.
He's available.
So much fun. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I think we're right up against our time. Are we, Terry? Okay, yes, that sounds great. Thank you for listening. Join me again on March 30th when we're going to hear from Taylor Observatory, and have a great St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy the weather. Thank you for listening, everyone. Hello.
Come take a journey to a place so dear, where the mountains meet the sky and the lakes are clear. Lakeport's calling with charm in the air, a hidden treasure so lovely and rare. With clear lakes, waters, the oldest around, a peaceful escape where serenity's found. The whispers of nature, the beauty unfolds in Lake County's heart, a story retold. Discover Lakeport and beyond, where memories flourish and hearts respond. In every moment let the joy surround, from wine tasting tours to the trails unbound. Hiking up hills under skies so blue, with every sunset you'll know it's true. Life's an adventure just waiting for you. In Lakeport, California, let's start it. Come take a journey to a place so dear, where the mountains meet the sky and the lakes are clear. Lakeport's calling with charm in the air, a hidden treasure so lovely and rare. With clear lakes, waters, the oldest around, a peaceful escape where serenity's found. The whispers of nature, the beauty unfolds in Lake County's heart, a story retold. Discover Lakeport and beyond, where memories flourish and hearts respond. In every moment let the joy surround, from wine tasting tours to the trails unbound. Hiking up hills under skies so blue, with every sunset you'll know it's true. Life's an adventure just waiting for you. In Lakeport, California, let's start anew. Macanocti stands bold and grand, a dormant volcano in this beautiful land, with trails to explore and vistas to see. Nature's embrace where you can be free. Rent a bike, feel the wind in your hair, cruise by the lake, let's leave all our cares. Kayaking on water so gentle and bright, the sun on your face, everything feels right. Discover Lakeport and beyond, where memories flourish and hearts respond. In every moment let the joy surround, from fishing at dawn to the stars profound. With laughter and stories shared with good friends, these small town moments that never will end. Each memory crafted a sweet little blend. In Lake County's heart, let's just pretend. Oh, water skying, the rush and the thrill, casting out lines, serenity's chill. Wine tasting bliss on a warm afternoon. Underneath the stars we'll dance to the moon. Events and happenings all year long, from festivals vibrant to tales in a song. Lakeport awaits open arms to you. A canvas of light, painted fresh and new. Discover Lakeport and beyond, where memories flourish and hearts respond. In every moment let the joy surround, from hiking the trails to the quiet that's found. So come take my hand, let's make a vow. In Lake County's warmth let's cherish the now. With every heartbeat this love will sow. In the beauty of Lakeport let our spirits grow. Discover Lakeport and beyond, my friend. In a land of enchantment where journeys don't end, let the stories unfold, let the laughter shine bright in the heart of Lake County.